Hey guys, it's Rushy. How's it going? We've got Menat now on how to punish, so we're going to go through her normals. Start off with the infamous stand medium punch. So the way this works with Menat is her normals, where she uses the orb. So these are the punishable normals we're looking at. At close range, this is minus 11 on block. So it's very punishable at close range. To show you how punishable it is, I'll do... What should I do? Stand heavy punch. So you can punish with that, not a problem. But at range, it's still punishable, but it's less punishable because it's at a later stage of the animation. So now, your max range is minus 6 at the worst. Well, at the worst it's minus 6. So Ken can't do much about that. This kind of range, yes, that's it. That's an 8 frame startup move, but max range, that should not work. Shouldn't work, he says. So yeah, that kind of range, it's not going to reach anyway. It's going to miss. So there is one thing you can do about this move, as long as you're in range. And that's not in range. If you're close-ish range, you can see how to punish that. That's probably the only thing. Actually, in V3 you can X Tatsu as well, and that should work every time. So those are the two things that Ken can do. But bear in mind, at close range, you can do whatever you want. Pretty much anything you do except for stand heavy kick will land. Probably not a bad shot. Sweeping as well at close range, as long as you're in range to reach. That will hit as well. So that's the stand medium punch. It's a similar story for all of these orb type attacks that are punishable. So again, similar format. Stand heavy punch, worst case is minus 7 close range. Further out it's +1 actually. So I didn't know that. So close range, without a doubt, chin buster. Try to confirm if you can as well. But at max range, you can't do much about it. If I do Tatsu, she can block. So you can't really, unless you're point blank, don't punish that one, don't go for it. Stand heavy kick, minus 8. But it hits high only, not low. I wouldn't have thought that would have reached, but it really does. You can do chin buster. Line break will work as well. Actually, line break is your best option there. That's minus 8. So if you block that ever, just mash stand like it and cancel into heavy kick. So that's how to deal with that, and that's minus 8 across the board. So you haven't got to worry about variables there. Distance. I'll put in crouching. Is this crouching heavy punch? No, crouching medium punch. Crouching medium punch is minus 3 at close range. You can like a Tatsu, but it's unlikely that's going to happen. At range, it's +1 at most. So it's one of those where you can punish it at close range, but maybe it's best just to take your turn back. So you could do... just take your turn back. You could even set up like a frame trap you could do. Actually, yeah, you're out of range. So yeah, take a turn back, but you won't get much after it. I think crouching heavy punch is the next one. Have a look. Okay, yes, I don't know why I put that in. It's not really a neutral move, that one. That is just a reference. It's minus 5. You can chin buster. 4 frame, but it's not really a neutral move, like I said, it's an anti-air, that one. So that's that. Have got sweep as well. That's a sweep. Does she have to? Let me just check something. Oh, okay, yeah, cool, cool. That's fine. Forward medium kick is our overhead. That's pretty punishable, that. Dive kick's very similar to Dalsim. So it looks like the light cut dive kick is the only one that's punishable at -6. Okay, cool. Let's check this out then. So the sweep is -11 on block. And as you can see, it's got very good range. Ken can't sweep that, no chance. What can Ken do? So EX Tattoo's out of range. So for whatever reason, that seems to work. CA and Likey Tattoo look pretty good against her sweep. I'll test the Likey Tattoo out. I'm pretty sure the CA should work at all ranges, but EX Tattoo is not a good idea in this matchup. So that's the sweep. We had the slide next, wasn't it? The slide is -10. I imagine she can make that safer if she's at range. So yeah, there is a range. If it hits late in the animation, it's safe. Earlier on, you can punish it with a 4th frame. Chin buster as well. So that's the slide, -10 in total. The overhead, so it says here, it's at best -7. At worst, -12. That's pretty bad. That's very risky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. So the reason why I'm going to stand medium punch is because that's a 7-frame move. It has longer range than most of Ken's normals. So that move is at worst -7. So stand medium punch is a good fit for that. It looks like there is a range where it won't reach. But it's hard to sort of get that range. It's like that. So if it hits quite deep, you guarantee stand medium punch. If it hits at max range, maybe throw the stand medium punch out, but don't cancel into special. Close range, no brainer. But yeah, actually no, you know, close range. Should we get line breaker? But of course I'm not. Okay, chin buster. I don't know why it's not working, but chin buster. Dive kicks. The light kick dive kick is the worst one. So it's probably the same thing as Dalsim's. If it hits high, punish it. If it hits about the waist, then it's punishable. See there, I couldn't punish it. So above the waist, I'd say at arm height, you can definitely punish that one. So that's the long reaching one. The heavy and the medium, not punishable. That's the heavy, from straight down. At worst she's -2 if it hits high, but it looks like I wouldn't press anything in that situation. I'll just V reversal or try and take the pressure away. Let's just have a look at the other one just to see the difference. So that's light. Medium, medium is actually very steep, similar to heavy. So you can definitely tell a light one from a mile off. So just the light one you want to punish if it's above the waist, well above the waist. So that's that. I might as well record it all together. We're in the thick of it now. So her V skill is the reflex. You can crouch and do it as well. So I don't know how to use this character at all, so I don't actually know how you release her orb. No idea how to do it. Oh, okay, okay, cool. Soul throw. So we've got the 2 reflex recorded. Right, let's throw the orb. And what I want to do now is, it's quite a complicated character, this one. So okay, cool. Sword. So I can't even remember what I've recorded here. So what it says is, it says the V skill with the orb is -18, -16. Let's check that out. So she has the orb. She's very punishable. She has the orb. If she doesn't have the orb, then only the standing one is -6. The crouching one is -3. So let's get her to throw the orb now. See if I can do this correctly. Turn that one off. Right, she's thrown the orb now. Let's go back. Why did I have her walking backwards? So yeah, so that one is punishable. Crouching shouldn't be. So yeah, you can still do back medium punch, try and confirm it. So that's very interesting. So that covers the orb situations. Let's look at her fireballs then. So light punch fireball. We'll record it. Medium punch fireball. Heavy punch fireball. She doesn't seem... Oh, you know what? It's tricky. She's got different fireballs. She can do light and medium. She's plus. Oh, it's the EX. Okay. This doesn't make my life any easier. So let's look at the non-EX versions now. So let's start with the easy stuff. So light, medium and heavy. Light is -8, medium -11, heavy is -4. Given the scenarios, I would go for a 4-frame punish for all of them. Okay. Maybe not. That shattered my dreams. The reason why it's hard to punish is because the block stun is it's not very long at all. That's the medium. It's much easier to punish. Heavy. What the? So, given what we've seen so far, throw out the 4-frame if you block it close range, but don't cancel into any special except for EX Fireball because you risk being punished. That's how I deal with the non-EX. Just to explain with the EX, what it's saying here is, it's saying that light punch, medium punch together, which is the low EX Fireball, is +3. That's the only one that's punishable. All the rest say -10, -9, -9. This doesn't really help our cause at all, this. So this one, for whatever reason, is +3. Can't understand why that one's different, so different to the other ones. Yeah, it took me ages to press a button there. So if I were to record another one, call it back. So let's do light and heavy. That's the most punishable. Man, the way I'm doing this is a bit different. I'm standing at a different angle. Hopefully the recording's alright because I haven't checked that actually. The commentary should be okay. That's the light and heavy. So the light and heavy. Oops. What's going on here? Oh man, what am I doing? I'm mashing. Yeah, she's having a hard time blocking that. So the low one is not punishable, but all the rest are punishable. So I don't know if that helps you guys, but if you see the low one, you don't want to press a button. Any of the other ones, you want to press a button. Well, you want to punish. I'd go chin buster me personally. It does say here also that the orb recall, when that hits you, she's hang on. It says 3+. So +3 or more, I guess. Let's have a look. So if she recalls the orb and it makes contact. There's a lot of information here. It just says on block 3+, so I'm guessing there can be more plus than that. I don't know why. Maybe it's a combination of a normal and the orb as well. I don't know. So if the orb makes contact with you, you don't want to mash after the orb makes contact with you. Likewise, if Menat uses a normal and calls the orb back, and her normal's unsafe, but the orb makes contact with you during block stun, it then turns that unsafe normal into a safe normal. So if she does stand medium punch, well, no, that wouldn't make sense. Let's just say she did the overhead and then called the orb back. You know she's minus after the overhead, but the orb makes contact after she has done the overhead. It's a bit weird. It depends on the timing, but let's say the orb makes contact with you towards the end of the animation of the overhead. It'll make her much safer than she would have been, if you know what I'm saying. So say if you went for a slow punish, like a stand medium kick, the orb may actually make her safe if your medium kick doesn't connect before the orb connects with you, if that makes sense. But then even in that situation, because you press the button, the orb's going to make contact with you. You can't block the orb. It's a little bit messy, really. So if you see the orb coming and she sets stuff up, you want to be careful when you press buttons. That's pretty much the general rule for a V trigger as well. So we'll do her super first, and then I'll look at V trigger. Okay, guys. So I've been spitting a lot of bars about Menat. It's not very straightforward matchup. A bit like Dalsim. It's very individual sort of tech and techniques you have to use. Very not very particular, very specific. You have to approach the match in a very specific way. So with her super, just cover this off. Let's complete the series. This is minus 46. You can jump and on the way down catch her. If you're right close to it, you can do that. Look at the damage you get. For no meter, 257. V trigger just extends on that. So you can get a lot of damage if you do a neutral jump. Pretty much any of the punish will do. I think at range. Okay, so yeah, you're limited. Oh, actually no. Heavy kick, that's it. Or you can dash forward. Good step kick. It's another option. But yeah, you can dash forward, I think, as well. Okay, it depends on what you want to go for. So worst case, could do that, I guess. I would be in preference to the heavy attack, sorry. Oops. You can do that as well. That should link. I don't have the timing down, but that does combo if you can do that. That's the CA. To be honest, it's just talk now, really. So it's about a V trigger. So with a V trigger, I'm to show you. Her V trigger does drain, so over time she'll lose the orbs. But what she can do is she holds the light button, well, any of the buttons, any of the 6 buttons. She holds light punch. Let's go. Heavy kick. Certain orbs disappear. Yeah, thrown at you. Now, yeah, her projectile game upgrades when she does this, but she can turn moves that are unsafe, as we spoke about before, into safe moves. So I'm not an expert with Menat. I don't know how to use her, but she can do, for example, a very unsafe. Okay, don't judge me on this, guys. I'm just I'm just a noob with Menat. If I were to hold light punch, do a drill, but let go of the orbs, see that? Well, to be fair, I held light kick, and the orb came out. Let's try that again. So if I set the orbs up, if I hold everything, do a drill, you can chuck the whole lot at Ken, and if Ken's trying to punish the drill, the orbs are coming towards him, and obviously a good Menat player would know how to time the orbs to hit Ken during his potential punish, because Menat's unsafe as he's in the animation, and he'll actually get hit. So where you think you're safe or it's your turn, she can turn that round. I guess she could do it with stand medium punch is a good example. This button, we know it's heavily minus at close range, but she could hold, I don't know, heavy kick and do like circles and hold them as well. Why is that not working? That's weird. Again, I don't know much about the character, so I can't really say, but... Oh, maybe not. Didn't work, doesn't work how I thought it works. Or does she release, like, does she release the thing first then? Oh, okay, there you go. So yeah, she releases the ball first, so if she does, I don't know. See how the orb came out, it would have made contact after that. So let's try it again. If I were to hold, let's do heavy kick. If I were to hold heavy kick, you see that? You could press a button thinking it's your turn, but she will take the turn back because of the orb. I know that's not an exact science, that's precisely how it works, but a good Menat player would know how to set those things up. I guess the overhead's a similar thing as well. Do that, but she could hold buttons, so she could do, see what I mean? So she can throw a multitude of attacks at you to make herself pretty safe. I don't know if you can do it, but let's have a look. There you go. That came out during the animation, so certain moves. See, she can throw them out during or after, so not everything works, but she can do certain moves and throw the orbs out midway through that move. Makes it even better for Menat. So that's how to... That's the pressure you want to consider with her V-trigger. The setups, I don't know. I know very little about this character, so I can't really advise you, but that's the caution you need to take when she's got V-trigger. She's going to go for shenanigans. She's probably going to cross you up and throw orbs everywhere. So you've got left, right mix-ups, overhead mix-ups and all sorts. So just be wary. But that pretty much covers the frame data for Menat, which is the whole point of the video. So hope that's helped, guys. Any advice you've got on Menat, or versus Menat if you're a Ken player, please shout. The more we can sort of share between us, the better. Hopefully enjoy that, guys. Cool. Shall catch you in the next video. Take care.